Hi, welcome back to my channel. So this video is about the things you need to know for flying into Davao City during this pandemic. So if you're interested to know more about that, just keep watching and the video will start in 3, 2, 1. So the information that I have on this video is based on my experience flying from Manila in December 2020. So these are the things you need before the flight. So after you booked your ticket and everything, I flew with PAL. So one thing that they require is the ECIF QR code. So it is different for every flight. So if you have a connecting flight, you have to do the ECIF for each leg of your flight. The second is the Davao City Health Declaration form. It is specific to Davao City, and it's just an online form where you have to fill in your personal details, and then it will give you your QR code. The third is the Trace app. I know I talked about this before, and I know it wasn't used before, but I saw the airport security scan the driver's Trace app before we enter the airport. So I guess you need that. Also, there is a QR code for every check-in counter, and you have the option, I think, to just scan the Trace just to let you know that you've been to that place, but no one really scanned it. So fourth is the travel authority or the medical certificate. I saw this on the list when I was researching for requirements for going home, but I really don't know where to get it, because when I left Davao, I just got my travel authority at the airport after showing them my negative swab test result. But apparently this travel authority or medical certificate is not required for Davao residents, as long as you can provide proof of residency like an ID with address that says Davao City. An optional document that you can provide and prepare for before your flight is a swab test result, a negative swab test result. But this is not really a requirement, because in Davao City they have what they call a swab test on arrival. So those are the things you need to prepare before your flight: the health declaration form QR code, the ECIF QR code, the Trace app for scanning for airport security, travel authority or medical certificate if you are not a Davao resident, and an optional negative swab test result. I decided to have my swab test done before my flight, just so when I arrive in Davao I can go straight to my family. There are actually testing centers that are partnered with PAL, and one of them is located at the PAL Learning Center in Padre Faura in Ermita, Manila. And because my quarantine hotel is so close to that testing center, I just decided to just get it there. It is exclusively for PAL passengers, and what they require for the swab test is just your ticket, the CIF QR code, and then your valid ID, and then you're done. They also have drive-through tests, so if you feel safer and more comfortable in your car, you can also do that there. And then the results came in the next day.
Hi, good morning. It's flight day and I'm on my way to the airport. I hope I have all the requirements ready. I'm not sure if I have all of it, but let's see. Fingers crossed. I'll see you again at the airport. Bye.
So for checking in, it's the same process, except while you're in line, there are already people checking documents that you have. This is where I got really worried, because there's this person who checked my documents and they said, "Where's your travel authority?" I said, "I don't have one." And then they said, well, you actually need one. Do you have someone you can call in Davao so they could process your travel authority for you? And it was 7 a.m. So I'm not really sure if I could find someone to do that for me, or if the government offices are even open at that time. So I was really worried because I really want to go home, and they're telling me that I need a travel authority to do that. So they asked if you have a medical certificate instead. I said I don't, but after getting the swab result, there is a link that they put there, and then they said if you could click it, you could get a medical certificate. I tried to click that. It didn't lead me anywhere. Well, it led me to a blank web page. So I said I don't have a medical certificate either. And so one of them told me, well, give me your ID and I'll ask people if we could just let you in on the flight because you're a Davao resident anyway. And then I just stayed in line, waited for them, and then they went back, and then they told me, well, good news, you don't really need a travel authority because you're a Davao resident. So I was so relieved to hear that because I really want to go home. So after that, I just waited in line until it was my turn to check in, and upon checking in, it's the same process except you need to show your eCIF QR code, and everything was on my phone. So I had to prepare a lot of wipes because I'll be handing out my phone to people a lot. You can print your QR codes and all those forms, but still you're gonna put them in your bag and then you can wipe down paper. So I decided to just have it on my phone, and every time I hand my phone to someone, I just prepare wipes, and then when they give it back to me, wipe, 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 just so you know we're safe and clean and all that. But everything is the same, and then you board your flight and wait until you land to Davao. There's this one sidebar that I'm just gonna sneak in this video. I know a lot of you already knew about this, but I know there are also some who still don't know about this, so I'm just gonna put it out there. The headrests on your flight seat, you could actually bend it and adjust the height. So you don't have to bring the travel pillow things, because you can bend it so it can support you when you sleep, and if you want to adjust the height, you can put it up here or down there. But yeah, just putting it out there for those who don't know. Anyway, next is arriving in Davao City. After you deplane, you walk through the bridge, and then once you exit that bridge, there is a separate line for those who have the health declaration form QR code and those who don't. And then that line will lead you into the holding area, which is the usual boarding gates. And then you wait there. Those who didn't have the health declaration QR code are all the way back to the line. Also, when you get to the boarding gates, which is the holding area, please follow the guide. They would tell you where to sit, because there are seat numbers and people are sent downstairs for the verification step per batch, and they would follow the seat numbers. So it's seats 1 to 10, 11 to 15, and then they went from 5 people to 3 people on. So while you're waiting at the holding area, people are distributing free meals. When I was there, I got the one-piece chicken meal from Jollibee and a bottle of Pepsi, which is really a good thing. It was a surprise for me. I wasn't expecting that, and the waiting wasn't really that long. So it was a good thing. And then when it's your turn, they will call your seat number, and then they will lead you downstairs to the verification step. It's just a bunch of booths that will check if you have all the necessary documents that you need. And this is also where they check if you have the swab test result or not. So if you have the swab test result, they would give you a card that says valid RT-PCR, and then if you don't, they give you another card I don't know what it says because I haven't seen it. And then you take that with you and then go to the baggage claim. So after you get your luggages, you go out, and after you exit, there is another table where you have to put your details where you're staying, because there is a mandatory 14-day home quarantine. So they would ask for information about where you're gonna do your home quarantine, and then they would give you a screening card, which is actually a piece of paper that you have to take to your barangay wherever you are gonna do your home quarantine. If you're staying at a hotel, you have to give the screening card to the barangay where the hotel is. Why a hotel? Because non-Davao residents are not allowed to do the home quarantines at a Davao resident's house. So even though you're there to visit people, you're not allowed to quarantine at that person's house. So after that, you either exit and meet your family if you have the negative result, and if you don't, you go to the transportation that will lead you to the testing center and the tent city. I know someone who did the tent city option, and she said the tent city is actually clean and comfortable. So if you're not in a hurry and you have the time to stay at the tent city for, I think, 2 days while waiting for your swab test result, then I think that's also a good option, because the swab test in Davao is free, while in Manila you have to pay for it. So I hope this video has helped you figure things out and plan for your trip to Davao. And if you like this video, don't forget to click the like button, and please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again next time. Bye! Yanni will join our video today because she invaded the room and she wants to stay. So I'm letting her stay. So, hi! Say hi. Hi! Hi! Welcome back to my channel, and what? For this video, I am gonna show you the whole process of arriving. Hi! Don't just... I don't think she likes me recording.